Time is our most valuable resource. We want to think of it as money, but it's time because it's something we can't create or we can't get back. And when you think about the time that you give away and you don't even realize it.
Hey there. Welcome to Top of Mind. Real talk for today's woman. With Anna and Karen.
We're back.
Yes.
So this is all about things that that we may come across or anything like that. And I remember, and I don't know where, but I had read that the average person picks up their phone 100 times a day. 100 times a day. So I decided, and this probably, I decided to do a little research. So I'm sure you guys know that if you have an iPhone, it gives you a notification of how much time per day you spend on your phone. So I decided that I was going to do a little research. So mine ebbs and flows, but so for last week, I spent an average of 3 hours and 40 minutes on my phone
For the whole week?
per day. It's a per day thing. So then I decided to get my little calculator out. So that translates to 28 hours a week, 112 hours a month, 1,344 hours a year, or 56 days a year. So then I decided, okay, well, let me look at the average life that an American woman lives. Do you have any idea what that is?
Okay, I see where this is going. I'm still trying to find where it is in here. I'll have to look later.
Yeah, I can show you on your iPhone. So how the average American woman lives to be 77.43 years. So if I spent 56 days a year, and I did my calculation, I'm 59. So if
56 days a year?
Yeah, that's what it comes out to with me being on my phone. I'm serious. Like, this is like eye-opening. If I have 18 years left, that means I'm going to spend 3 years of my remaining 18 years on my phone. And I'm like, true.
You're halfway to becoming a vet. Tell that 35-year-old, become a vet.
I mean, think about that. Okay, so here's my thing. There is no way we are meant or created for this. I mean, and it's kind of funny because in a lot of ways, we're more connected through a constant stream of notifications of social media and latest updates on family and friends and, whatever's happening in the world. And we're bombarded with all this, news and everything. But yet I feel like we're the most disconnected we have ever been. So, and you and I had talked about this before, how we have so much access to information that we're not meant to.
Yeah.
Okay, like it would take years or our entire lifetime to get the information that we now have access to in a, in a week's time. And if you think about like our I don't know, like our psyches and our bodies and our souls, I mean, are we really created to absorb this amount of information? I mean, and we did talk about this before. So, and I've been thinking social media, this is even me off social media. I can't imagine what it looks like for someone who spends more time on social media. So I don't mean this to be like a buzzkill, because to me, again, information is, actually had I was going to say information is, knowledge is power, but it's only as much as what you do with that knowledge. Because I found this other little thing, which I'll go down just a little mini detour. And it basically said that knowledge is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, and wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
I like that.
So this is knowledge to me, and I'm not sure. I got to be honest. I'm not, because I literally did these little calculations for our talk today. Because once I heard the average person touches their phone 100 times a day, and then I think about like our youth, but anyway, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. But this is so powerful to me. to know, to know this, to think about these numbers. And I am really curious. I would love to hear from all of you. Like, I want you to check your numbers and kind of go through this calculation and just see.
How do we find it, Anna? Is it under the health?
No, so if I go into my iPhone,
Yes.
and then I kind of just do like the little, let me see if I can get to the,
Switch up.
yeah, like, no, that went
It's
into,
down.
is it down? Shoot. So for me, like, think about how I did this. It's under settings, but it's under screen notifications, but literally I got to, oh, there you go. So I swipe this way, swipe from left to right.
Oh, okay.
And then you can see then it has this big block, and it's my screen time.
Ah, okay. I'll have to.
Yeah, so it'll give you like an average a day, or you can also get your weekly average, and it'll say, like mine's set up to give me on a weekly average. It says you spent X amount of time on your phone.
Okay, so that my week was 7 hours. I don't know how to get to the week, but okay, interesting.
So just look at your daily and then times that by 7. Again, this is just meant to give you a rough estimate. And that'll tell you how many hours a week you spend. Oh, and actually, Karen, if I go
1 hour
time,
and 45
I could do
minutes.
week or day. I might it'll say week or day.
Yeah, so mine productivity and finance is 145.
Yeah, so it'll break it.
Entertainment's 150. Wow, interesting. It clocks all that. I'm gonna have to start paying attention to this. First pickup. Oh my God, total pickups 78.
Isn't that funny? See?
Isn't that fun? Yeah. It's funny because every day, anybody who has what the hell is this ring called? Or a ring, right? Like we're all obsessed with it. We share our dads. Oh, you'll see people show their rest and everything. So we should start looking at this with the iPhone. 78 pickups. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of, again, it's something we do almost without thought. And it's when you look at it, like I had set this up, so and my goal was always to be down from the week before. So like this week I was 6% down from last week. But that was before I did this calculation.
Yes.
Because to me, this is again eye-opening, because we always think we have no time.
Oh, yeah.
Time is our most valuable resource. We want to think of it as money, but it's time.
Yeah.
Because it's something we can't create or we can't get back. And when you think about the time that you give away and you don't even realize it. So that's kind of what brought this kind of under the microscope for me.
Well, it was interesting you talked about how it impacts, like when we talk about being connected, you mentioned like that we're connected in one way. We call it connection, but it really isn't. What I think of it is being on. And when I'm being on, I'm not resting. I have all this information coming in. I'm taking it in all the time. And so when you say that we're not wired for this, we're not. Like that's our central nervous system, or our autonomic nervous system, everything. So, they talk about more depression, more anxiety, more this. I have to tell you, I was on watching news quite a bit recently with Trump, and I'm sure lots of people are, and it increased my anxiety. I had to stop, So the idea is that no, we're not wired for this. And then we're scrolling before we go to bed, and we're not getting the proper rest. And it's not our mind, just our mind. It's our nervous system. Like I do know that I meditate, and I notice a difference when I don't meditate compared to when I do. And there was one time you told me to just be quiet. Don't even meditate. Just sit quietly. Challenge somebody to do that for 10 minutes. It's not that easy when we're so used to, like, go sit in a restaurant. We used to go sit in a restaurant or a coffee shop. You have a coffee. What do? You people watch. No, people are all like this, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing. It's not a habit. This is a dopamine hit. It's a drug.
It is a drug.
It's a drug and addiction. Every time we go on there, we're getting hits, which is why it keeps us there, right? So I know a lot of people who do what they call digital sunsets, where they
I do
just,
that.
you do that, where, and I've thought about it. You know, my biggest thing is I set my alarm for 8 o'clock to stop working on my side business, my coaching business. And I do that because if I don't, I'm passionate about it. I'll work myself into the grave with this. But it's kind of like I love writing, I love helping people, I love doing this. So I set the alarm, and that alarm is to have the wind down time and to have a little bit of time with Sue. Like we have dinner every night, but then to have a little bit of time with her. Um, so, but beyond that, that's when I'm not on the phone, but I'm on the TV. But to me, I'm resting. We watch stuff that just doesn't, I don't have to think. I'm not watching documentaries, you know what I mean? But some people, digital sunsets, they're great. They decide at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, the phone goes away. They silence it. I know people who take, and I was thinking about a digital day. A lot of people take Thursdays where they won't respond to messages, anything. They don't look at their phone, you know.
Hmm.
And I think they're great because what it allows us to do is reset,
Yes.
you know, to calm our nervous system.
Hmm.
They say that the generation that's born now is the one that is, sorry, no, hold on. How does it go? The millennials, Zen, right?
I
Zen?
don't know. I always get them confused,
I think,
man.
I think it's the Z's, Zen, ZZ, that are the ones that have grown up completely with cell phones and
Hmm.
computers. Then the next one that's just born now, they're called, oh, I remember what the name of them was. Now I've forgotten, but they're going to be total AI babies. But it's the Z that we have to look at right now to see, like, it'll be interesting to know MRI wise what's happened in their brains because of growing up with this. I was watching a video today. It's funny you bring this up. Here we go, connection,
See? Hmm.
because I listened to a guy who had disconnected and he was showing a video, and it's a 2-year-old that's asleep. And you know what she's doing? She's scrolling.
Wow.
Actually, I think she was 3. There was no phone, but that's what she was doing in her sleep, scrolling.
Wow.
And it's like, whoa, because what do we do? Oh, here, entertainment, give it to the
Hmm.
kid. But
Yep.
this is a drug and it's dopamine. We have to recognize it and treat it as such.
Hmm. 100%. And I think we even talked about this before, like that generation, they don't know what it means to be bored. There's no downtime
Or
because
they
they're,
don't know how to self-entertain.
well, they won't know what, like in 15 or 20 years, they will not know how, they will not be able to be bored because that dopamine hit, I mean, to all the time. So they'll have the inability to just be bored. Like
Yes.
that's one of the things that, I read. But again, I found this to be, here's my little calculation, so interesting as it relates to me and how much of my life I'm giving away to this. And yet we all want to complain that we don't have time.
Yeah. You know what? Excuse me, I'm glad that you brought this to my attention. Like I had no idea to look at, you see that every now and then, don't think anything of it, but to stop and glance at this and kind of go, whoa, what does
Hmm.
this mean? I'm going to spend a little bit of time thinking and contemplating this a bit more. You know what the crazy thing is our age group is not one that's embraced this totally.
No, but I look at again the time that I've spent and the years of my life.
No, I know, but no, sorry, let me finish that thought, which is I can't imagine what it's like for younger people.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's great. I'd love to know people's thoughts. I want to know what your numbers are. Let's start
That's
looking at
I
our
want to
numbers
know.
and
I
sharing
want
them.
to know. Let's talk numbers.
Yes, yes. How much are you spending daily and weekly? Think about it. And
Hmm.
sorry, when I interrupted Anna earlier, it was about that dear Abby woman that we talked about the year before that said, 7 years she'd have to be to become a vet. It's like, what could we be doing
Hmm.
instead? When you
That's
say you don't have enough time, playing
yeah.
that piano, learning
Hmm.
how to scrapbook, reading some books, actual real books.
Yeah. And as you said, like we don't consider the impact on our nervous system because we are so dysregulated that it feels normal and there's nothing normal about it. Like again, our bodies, our psyches, our our brain, we're not equipped for this amount of information. This is like information overload.
Yeah. So,
And like, and as part of my circadian rhythm, I put my phone down an hour and a half before I go to bed. Um, just to allow myself, because again, like when we're scrolling and we're laying in bed scrolling, it's like trying to park a car at 50 miles an hour.
oh, I
Okay.
love the analogy.
Yeah. That's what it's like trying to go to sleep. You don't park a car at 50 miles an hour. You need to give your brain what it is designed to do, and that is to unwind, to be down. So, yeah, again, let's talk about this again, because I am curious about your
Yes.
numbers. I'm curious
Oh,
about
yes.
your numbers,
Yes,
and
please. We
curious.
want to know what your numbers are
Yeah,
and what epiphanies you came from this. We're going to bring this. I'm going to make a note and we're going to come back to this next month. Absolutely.
because
So
I'm curious to see what I do with this information too. So,
there we
because
go.
remember, we talked about it's very easy to backslide because we go back to what's familiar. That's why habits are hard, because we go back to what feels familiar.
And this is
Um,
addictive.
yep,
It's addictive. You know why? Because it hits that dopamine. So let's see. Let's work on
yep.
this together. Okay. Are we done?
I think so, unless you want to bring up anything else. But yeah, I'm going to have more to say on this later because this is all new for me.
Yeah. Cool.
So,
Great. Thank you for a great introduction to this topics. It's certainly got me all revved up to kind of look and see what the heck I'm up to. So thank you, Anna. And
yep.
I am Karen Vale, your confidence and life. What the hell am I? Confidence mindset coach. And I am here with my pal.
I'm Anna Jennings, and I'm your midlife mentor.
Thanks for coming.